That I did not know it did that sound. Oh, let me turn down I was looking at the stream on my phone.
Oops.
Yeah, sorry about the awkwardness of that countdown. Something new I'm introducing to the stream. Eventually, it will have music and it will have some background music to go with it. But yeah, I got rid of my mixer and I'm back to just a simple USB Yeti microphone. So all the complexity is gone, which I like. I like simple because, as we know, this live stream never goes right. So the simpler I can make it, the better. But anyways, hello everybody. Welcome back to ThrillGeek This week. Barry's joining me. Say hi, Barry.
Hey everyone. We've got stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, I apologize for the lack of streams the last 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks ago was last week was
The media event.
Minion media event on Thursday evening. So, and then 2 weeks ago I was at Riviera Resort, which I'm gonna actually start the stream off here and chat about. Let me see who's in the chat here. Hello, Parallel Disney. Thanks for joining. Michael, hello. But yeah, 2 weeks ago I was out at Disney Vacation Club was nice enough to invite the whole family out, me, my wife, and 3 kids out to Riviera Resort for a couple day stay as honorary DVC members.
Swanky.
Yeah. We lived it up for a couple days. It was pretty fancy. So yeah, they invited us out. We got to stay in one of the one bedroom villas. I get suite, not really suite, I guess.
I think it's called a villa.
It's just a one bedroom villa, but that one bedroom villa can sleep. It slept all 5 of us just fine. It's got obviously the bedroom, which I think either has a queen or I think it's a queen size bed. And then literally the entire wall where the couch is to watch TV folds down, and there's a bed in there, which I think is at least a twin, or not a twin, but what's the size after a twin? Double,
I think.
Double, yeah. So 2 of the kids slept in that, and then Charlotte, there's underneath the TV, there's another bed that folds down out. There's like all these beds that fold down from the walls and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it slept all 5 of us comfortably. Of course, my kids, they're fighting over who gets to sleep in what bed and where they want to sleep and all that, but we eventually figured that out. And yeah, we got to hang out at Disney's Riviera Resort for a couple days and really get to kind of experience the resort. And one of the mornings we got a walking tour from I forgot what his name was, but he kind of gave us a tour of Riviera Resort, showed us the small studio rooms, which are really cute and really kind of quaint. Perfect for it'd be perfect for you and Sin to go.
Yeah.
Just these tiny little studio rooms, just enough for a couple, or if you're going by yourself. And then we got to do DVC Moonlight Magic, which started off horribly because of the absolute monsoon of a storm that hit us. We literally got off the bus at DAC, and pouring is an understatement. Like, it was a monsoon, and all 5 of us got soaked. The kids were soaked. I was soaked. Like an umbrella would have done. It did nothing for this. So,
Yeah.
But it eventually cleared up. We got to do DVC Moonlight Magic, which was actually a lot of fun. I had a blast. I know you've done it a couple times, Barry. So I finally got to experience Moonlight Magic. There's some really cool characters. I got to meet Darkwing Duck finally, which was fantastic. All the ducks. Scrooge. It was one meet and greet. It was Scrooge, Launchpad, and Darkwing, and then they had the I can't remember their names. There's the stick bug from A Bug's Life and the butterfly, which apparently those are like the super rare characters.
Yeah, they are very rare.
So the line for them was super long. I was like, I just want to meet Darkwing Duck. And then Cheryl, she wanted Tarzan and I'm terrible with their names. The gorillas, the mom gorilla, and the the mean, angry dad gorilla. And
Kerchak
and
which I don't think I've always seen Turk.
Yeah.
But not like Kerchak and the mom gorilla. I forgot.
She was still there.
Yeah.
It was all three of them, but they rotated with Tarzan and Jane.
Yeah.
And the one that Rosie O'Donnell, what's the one that Rosie O'Donnell voices?
Turk.
Thank you. Turk stayed there. And she would rotate with the mom and dad gorilla with Tarzan and Jane. So we get up there and it's Tarzan and Jane. And luckily the character attendant was super nice. And she let us kind of step aside until the two gorillas came out. So Cheryl got to meet them. So
I don't think I've ever seen them.
Yeah,
the other two. They've had Turk out occasionally. Same thing, like they've had Tarzan and Jane occasionally out once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
but not the other two.
That was the first thing we did. Everybody was saying, like, if you want to do the characters, do that first because the lines get, pretty long for the characters. That's the thing to do at Moonlight Magic. So after that, I think we went over to Pandora and we did Flight of Passage. And then I took Jordan on Everest because he hadn't ridden Everest at night, which is an amazing experience because that coaster is really, really dark at night. Yes, it's not lit up a whole lot. So I was like, Jordan, we have to ride Everest tonight. So we went up and rode Everest. And in between that, we used our snack coupons and we got some onion rings and some snacks and stuff. And it was a good time. I had fun at Moonlight Magic.
I forgot how many. They give you 3 coupons per person now, I think.
I think it was 3. I think it was 3 coupons per person.
It's a lot different now. It used to be you got a voucher for a meal, and then you got there was food and drinks and snacks.
I was confused. I didn't know. I got there and I was a little confused as to what stuff was free, like you could grab and go, and then what stuff you had to use the vouchers for. And we eventually figured it out. So, anyways, to kind of wrap up my DVC stay here, after that, we spent the day at Epcot, and they gave us. I finally got to see the DVC lounge up in the Imagination Pavilion, which was pretty cool to see that finally. And then we got to go to the Top of the World Lounge at Bay Lake Towers and experience the Villain Lounge up there atop the of the Bay Lake Towers and watch Happily Ever After, which I didn't know. I love Happily Ever After. I absolutely love that show. And watching it from up there at the Top of the World Lounge just makes you fall in love with it all over again.
Oh yeah, I've seen it from up there, and obviously seen it up from the top of California Grill a few times, and it's always a neat experience and that lounge is really cool too. It's been a while, but I do remember them having an amazing cake there. I can't remember if they still have it, but
is it like a 5-layer cake or something like that?
Yeah,
they had it there for us to try.
Yeah, it's good.
They had a bunch of the food out there for us to try. And it was like I think it's like a 4 or 5-layer cake or something like that. I had like 3 or 4 pieces of that. I was like,
it's right up there with like that one and the Steakhouse 71 cake as far as like which one is the better. But it's pretty. And like I said, I know it's something you don't really get to unless you're a DVC member or you're friends with a DVC member. But it is a pretty cool experience up there.
Yeah, it was really cool because they have speakers up there. I was like, that's the one thing I was always weirded about, not weirded out about, but I was confused about. Like, how do you watch Happily Ever After up there? You can't hear it, but they literally have speakers right there.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same way at California Grill on the top there. They have speakers that play the show.
But that was really cool. And we got to hang out at the resort. Really check. I love Riviera Resort. It's a fantastic resort. I'm actually writing up an article, kind of like a top 4 reasons to stay there. You got the Skyliner right there. The food is unbelievable. I absolutely love. We did the character breakfast up at.
I was gonna say that's. Then you got to do the character breakfast, and that after I think Cinderella Castle is probably the hardest character breakfast to get a reservation for.
Yeah, the character breakfast up at Topolino's Terrace was absolutely fantastic. The characters are really cool because they're in all kind of like their artiste kind of attire.
Costumes you can only get at that location.
Yeah, it was really cool up there, and the food was fantastic. I had like this. It was like a bread pudding French toast. It was so good.
Yeah.
And the kids they have like Mickey waffles on a stick, which was really cool. And I forgot what Cheryl got. But anyways, yeah, we got to go up there. We got to do that. The quick service restaurant down there by the pool, their chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah.
So good. It was
I've
so
gotten
good.
it so many times.
For a quick service restaurant, it's so good. But yeah, no, I'll have
and they've got a great bar there. You know, you got the bar in Topolino, and then you also got the bar by the pool. Both of them are excellent.
Yeah,
have some great drinks made for those bars. I mean, that resort in general, it's. I know some people complain about the overall theme of the resort. That it doesn't really do Riviera the way you would expect something that's themed to Riviera, but it's a great, like you said, you got the Skyliner, which is great because not just going to Epcot, you can bounce over, or you can just walk over. That's the other nice thing. You can walk right over to Caribbean Beach.
Yeah.
And you've got even more restaurants to choose from, including Sebastian's Bistro, which is really good.
Yep.
But you can also bounce on the Skyliner and pop over to Pop Century and Animation.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, when you go over to Epcot or check out the Epcot resort, you really get a lot by staying at that resort of just even not just going to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, being able to do some resort hopping and check out.
Yep.
All the stuff at the different resorts. It's right up there with it's just a convenient location.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, you know, huge thank you to DVC for having me out and having the wife and kids out to check it out. And I love Riviera. It's actually really, really cool. So all right. That's not even the news. Let's start
coasters.
Yeah. We're gonna
lots
do
of coasters announced, and we're not even going to talk about all the coasters that were announced.
Yeah, there's been a lot these last couple of weeks. We've been kind of absent, so we're going to do a little bit of catching up here since we've been out these last couple of weeks. We're going to start off in Kings Island. They announced a big update to their Camp Snoopy area with a new coaster and a new area, a new play area. The name of the coaster will be Snoopy's Soapbox Racers, and these boomerang coasters are all the rage lately. Like these
family boomerangs.
These are like all the rage. It's really, you know, I'm not against them. I think they're great additions to the park. They're small footprints. They don't take up a lot of space. They're fun. But this one will feature a 70-foot hilltop at the starting point, and you kind of go backwards up this spike back here, just like a boomerang, and then you come flying out and you come around, and then you go up here to this spike, you stall out, and you go back around and back into the station. So great little addition to the area, family friendly. I think it'll have a top speed of like 40 miles an hour. I don't see the speed on the article here, but then
and it's part of Kings Island will have 5 different kid/family coasters, which is like crazy. But they also, if you've never been there before, Camp Snoopy, of course, years ago it was the Wonderful World of Hanna-Barbera, and then it was then it was Nickelodeon. It's one of the largest kids areas in any park in the entire country. Their kids area is gigantic. It's won like multiple awards over the years. And this just definitely adds a new refresh to one part of the kids area that was a little probably needed an update anyway.
Yeah, but, and this is the other area. It's called Beagle Scout Acres. It'll be a shaded, nature-themed play area. Kids and their families will be able to explore and play on their own among turfed mounds and grassy areas filled with camping equipment to play in, climb over, and through. So it's cool that it'll be shade. We love shade in theme parks. I mean, given this park is in Ohio, so maybe it won't be as brutal as down here in Florida, but, you know.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day, and it's like, I feel like the parks, maybe not just down here, but in the South or in general, it's like they're really going to have to come up with new ways, just more shaded areas, because it's just, as we've seen with this summer, like God, anytime you were out in the sun,
it's been brutal this summer.
It was brutal. At least when you were in shaded areas, I mean, it wasn't. It was still brutal, but it wasn't as hellishly brutal. And I think it's smart to start coming up with some more areas in parks that are shaded, because it's not going to get any better. So,
and then there'll be quote camptivities led by the Peanut Gang throughout the day. Then it says eager Beagle Scouts can also work to earn merit badges for sharing, working together, trying new things, and helping someone in need. So, fun little addition to Kings Island Camp Snoopy for 2024. There's a quick look at kind of the whole area, including the new Snoopy Soapbox Racers coaster. And this is coming next year to Kings Island. So, all right.
Fire in the hole.
Moving on. Fire in the hole. This announcement was probably the most recent new coaster announcement that we got from Silver Dollar City. They are going to be remaking their classic, iconic Fire in the Hole coaster, which they announced. When did they announced this was closing? I can't remember exactly when they announced it was closing. I think it was either earlier this. I think it was earlier this year. They announced the original Fire in the Hole was closing. And they had already started construction on the new one, which is this massive, like 5-story building behind the old Fire in the Hole coaster. This will be a $30 million investment into the park. And it looks really fantastic from some of the concept artwork that we've gotten. I don't think either you or I have you ever been to Silver Dollar City?
It has been a while.
Yeah.
It has been probably over 20 years since I've been to Silver Dollar City. I mean, both there and Dollywood had the similar like, is it Dollywood's was Blazing Fury or
Blazing? Yeah. Well, there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people saying, like, you know, now that Silver Dollar City's getting this, maybe Dollywood will refurbish their indoor.
It wouldn't surprise me at some point. Yeah, I mean the fire it was more of a goofy, fun sort of attraction. And this, with like the figures in it weren't exactly the most high tech. Much like Mine Train at Knott's used to be, and then when they did that update, it's just like a whole different experience now. So this, to be able to modernize it with a new coaster, and then with, I'm assuming, new animatronics and sets, and
yep,
I think that's just a way to keep what's been a classic at the park, give it a new coat of paint and bring it more into the 21st century.
Yeah, it was confirmed that Rocky Mountain Construction will be doing the coaster track aspect of the new Fire in the Hole attraction. I don't think they shared who was going to be doing everything else, because this ride has a lot of theming. I don't think Rocky Mountain Construction is just going to be doing the coaster track, and everybody that was there for the media event got kind of a behind the scenes tour. I know our good friend Carly, she was there. Yeah. And everybody got it kind of, they're already rocking and rolling with this thing from the pictures that I saw from the inside of the building. And they officially released today was a fantastic day for theme park music, by the way. We got the Islands of Adventure soundtrack on YouTube from Universal Orlando, and Silver Dollar City released the Fire in the Hole theme. I didn't see where they released it to. I shared it on the ThrillGeek Twitter. So you can get your banjos out and get down to the Fire in the Hole song. So, but yeah, we have all the details up on ThrillGeek.com if you guys want to check out all the details on the new Fire in the Hole coaster coming to Silver Dollar City next year. So, all right, up next.
Gravy.
This announcement was probably the most fun announcement out of all these coaster announcements. Holiday World in 2024 will be getting good gravy. Mm-hmm. I never thought in my my days on this earth that I would see a roller coaster themed to gravy, but Holiday World proved me wrong.
Well, Holiday World does have a Thanksgiving section of the park.
They do, and this will be perfect for it.
Yes.
Good Gravy will be opening to the public in May 2024 at Holiday World. Guests will board a train shaped like, you guessed it, a giant gravy boat.
I still can't believe that is.
So,
and not just like the first train.
yeah.
All of them.
I think I don't know if I put it.
Are shaped like a gravy boat.
I didn't get a close-up picture. You can kind of see them in this. You can see the gravy. You can see the gravy in the front of the train right here on this photo. Yeah,
that is just wild.
But the track will be cranberry colored, which is fitting. Again, this will be a very similar shuttle coaster, kind of family-themed roller coaster, so the little ones can enjoy it.
38-inch height requirement.
Yep, it'll feature a 38-inch height requirement. Here's kind of an overall look. You start off in Grandma's house for Thanksgiving, and here's a look at the layout. You got the backwards lift back here, and then you come flying around up to this stall out point, and then you do the whole thing in reverse. So again, another fantastic family edition which is great. You know, I love these more kind of family because it allows more younger kids to ride, you know.
No, and it gives
38-inch height requirement. So
it gives like more of a and it gives a more unique style family coaster. That's, you know, most family coasters, you know, they've had a lot of, there hasn't been I feel like anything new family coaster wise for a while as far as a new idea, and this definitely between this and the one at Kings Island, it's definitely a new idea, and of course, being Holiday World, it's got a goofy ass theme, which you know, if you've ever been there, some of their attractions, you know, it's all themed to holidays, but some of their attractions do have a sort of a fun, goofy theme to them, and this definitely goes right into it. So it's a perfect thing that goes right next to their other Thanksgiving, the dark ride that they have there, which I'm going blank on off the top of my head. That's goofy. That's goofy as hell too. But
but a few more stats on Good Gravy. It'll have a top speed of 37 miles an hour. It'll feature an 18-foot tall rolling pin maneuver before flying up a 77-foot tall spike and repeating the journey backwards. The entire ride will be about 1,500 feet in length. And like I said, it'll have a 38-inch height requirement, which is fantastic for so kids approximately around 3 years of age will be able to experience this awesome addition to Holiday World. So yeah, Good Gravy coming to Holiday World next year. Looks like it'll be a Vekoma boomerang, which I think is what the Snoopy one at Kings Island was. So, yeah, it looks great. I got to get back out to Hollywood. The thing with Holiday World is it's like Silver Dollar City. It's one of those theme parks that's so off to the Midwest, kind of that middle of the country where there's not much you can do to plan your day around it or plan like a whole trip out there. So it's like, yeah, you can't really plan a whole trip around, Holiday World or Silver Dollar City for that matter. So, all right, moving on to Dorney Park. Dorney Park's getting some TLC.
And a dive coaster too, which
is
just, that's just wild.
Yeah, Dorney Park will be getting Iron Menace in 2024, which, as Barry just mentioned, will be a B&M dive machine. And it's been a minute since Dorney Park's gotten a new coaster. I was there in 2021, and I don't think they hadn't had a major Hydra, their Florida coaster, which was early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, they have not had a major coaster there in a while. It's always been, you know, that and Michigan's Adventure seems to be always been sort of like the just enough
to keep it alive. And see there's like here.
Well, it's in a spot where, you know, there's not much far away from it. I mean, Knoebels is the nearest park, and even that's a little bit of a hike. And I mean, Dorney Park's also been there for what, I think 100 years. You know, it's been there for a long time. Albeit, you know, it was more of an amusement park. But yeah, it is way past due for a major coaster attraction, and they're getting a major coaster attraction and unique dive coaster too. There's a lot of unique elements on this thing.
Yeah, it's not you know, well, I was gonna say it's not the longest dive machine, but dive machines are infamous for not being terribly long. But yeah, some of the specs of it, it'll reach 64 miles an hour. It'll feature the first ever tilted loop on a dive coaster, which you can see back here in the back part. Which the only B&M coaster that I know that had the tilted loop was Mantis, Rougarou at Cedar Point. Well, now it's Rougarou. So that's pretty cool. And then it says after the initial drop, the train will pull up sharply, flip 180 degrees in the Immelman inversion. It'll feature a 0G roll. And then it'll have the tilted 300 tilted loop. And then it'll have this kind of crazy spin around into the brakes. So like you said, Barry, yeah, it'll definitely have some fun and unique features for a dive machine, make it kind of stand out. It'll have nearly 2,200 feet of track. It'll have a 152-foot first drop, and the first drop will be 95 degrees. So we're beyond vertical again with one of these B&M dive machines. So yeah, congrats, Dorney Park. You're getting a new coaster. But yeah, Iron Menace will be opening up in 2024 at Dorney Park. And we have all the details about this up on ThrillGeek.com if you guys want to check it out. Look at the specs. And yeah, I put right here, 2005. Hydra opened up in 2005. Wow. So it's been since 2005.
19 years.
It's been 19 years since they've gotten a major coaster at Dorney Park. So much needed addition to Dorney Park. So
yeah.
Keeping on the Cedar Fair train here, we finally got the official announcement from Cedar Point. Top Thrill 2 will be coming to Cedar Point in 2024. And the rumors were pretty spot on about this Spire stall out spike addition to Dragster. Basically, what'll happen is your first...
Everyone
launch,
gets a rollback.
Yeah, everybody's going to get a rollback now. Your first launch is going to be 74 miles an hour forwards. And then I don't think they... right here. Reverse, the second launch will be 101 miles an hour. And then you're going to go up the spike, which I think the backwards spike is just as tall. I can't remember if they said the height of the backwards spike. I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they did either.
I don't think they announced the.
And then the weird angle of the concept art makes it look like it's taller
this piece of concept artwork makes the stall out spike look much taller than the 420 foot top hat. So but yeah, no, the rumors of the spike added to Dragster were pretty spot on.
I guess it says right there. It's the new tower is 420 feet tall too.
So it's exactly the same height as the other one. Yeah. So, which makes sense because you're going to be doing 101 miles an hour in reverse, and so that the physics.
I don't know how I feel. This may end up being a one and done for me.
Yeah,
going backwards at 100 miles an hour, 101 miles an hour. Oof.
Yeah,
the G you're gonna hit when you hit that curve up.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's gonna be a gut wrench.
Here's a look at.
Then you're gonna have that free fall airtime going down.
That's what I'm most excited about.
That's gonna be nuts.
The hang time you're gonna get when you stall out on that spike.
Yeah.
For that split second before you get all that speed back.
Because because you do the twist on the way down the other tower, you don't get like a hang free fall time.
You're just knocked around.
You get knocked around, then you get a little bit of a hang free, like airtime free fall. But this thing, good God, you're going to get like some serious, like just sort of
hang
like
time.
almost drop tower type feel.
Yeah.
coming down.
So, and here's a closer look. I really like these new trains that Vacoma's that I got to see it. They had them at IAPA last year.
Yeah.
And they're really impressive looking trains. But yeah, the trains will be Vacoma. I'll be very curious. I guess the manufacturing is going to be kind of because they're not completely getting rid of all the Intamin track. So it'll be pretty interesting to watch this thing being built between the Intamin and Vacoma kind of taking over it.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because I mean this attraction has had issues since the day it opened, to the point it had serious issues, which is why it's been closed.
Yeah.
Even though King Ka over at Six Flags Great Adventure is still running, and the last time I rode that in 2021 was also still vibrating the crap out of you. I think this really, to me, that solves one of my biggest issues with Top Thrill Dragster is the fact that it's such a one-trick pony. Now you got multiple tricks, which I think is even though I'm not a fan of going backwards, it's a definite improvement overall. I gotta imagine for the whole ride experience, even though I'm gonna be interested to see. I mean, we all know that they used computer programs to test the physics of this thing, but has anything gone backwards 100 miles an hour before? Can't recall any coaster that's gone backwards 100 over 100 miles an hour before. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Wait. Haven't they run Superman at Magic Mountain backwards before?
Oh yeah, well you drop down backwards. Well, going up backwards.
No, haven't they run Superman?
I think
at
they
Magic
have.
Mountain backwards.
Okay,
I think they
my
have.
bad.
No, hey, you're. I
don't think I ever rode it that way. I think I only rode it going forwards. I don't think I ever rode it going backwards.
Yeah,
but kudos to them. I mean, it's going to be. It's going to be.
You can see from this concept artwork piece that they're kind of shifting the queue. The hydraulic launch is going completely bye-bye. It's all going to be magnetic now. So they won't have that problem of the hydraulic launch anymore. It's all going to be LSMs.
And I assume they officially say there's going to be a switch track.
There's going to be a switch track to help with capacity.
Yeah. So
you can kind of see it in this picture.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't think there's a better picture of the station.
No.
In the article I did here. But yeah, no, you can tell they're going to shift because they've completely dug up this whole area in the middle of the ride, and they're going to shift the queue over to the opposite side where the brake run is. And it looks like they're going to do some changes to the queue as well. It looks like the entrance will still be in the same area up towards the top, but they're kind of shifting the queue away from the launch in case, because the whole reason why Top Thrill Dragster is done is, not only that one incident with, I think it was a lady that got hit by something. There's been several incidents I think there's been a couple of incidents with pieces flying off the launch and stuff. So hopefully that this will not happen again. And when they open up Top Thrill 2, what do you think of the name? Top Thrill 2.
It's not imaginative, but
yeah,
it makes sense that they're, you sort of want to keep the same name. You don't want to just name it a new ride. We got it was X and then it became X2.
Yeah.
So
Cedar Point's like Top Thrill 2,
which I still have not been. It's been a while since I've been to Magic Mountain. Not to think about it. It's like I've rode X. I never rode X. Yeah. I haven't ridden X2.
I haven't.
I'm excited. Like I said, I'll ride it one time.
Yeah. So, all right. Moving on to some spooky news. We do have a little bit of spooky news to talk about.
I feel like for once there's some people who are a little bit jealous of Hollywood's.
Yeah, and that's because of this house right here. Universal Studios Hollywood announced, well, of course, actually, according to John Murdy, they've got one more thing to announce with Hollywood. So they haven't announced everything, but they dropped their big house and scare zone announcement for this year for Halloween Horror Nights. And as Barry was just mentioning, they are getting an Evil Dead Rise house, which made a lot of people, like Barry said, a lot of people jealous over here on the East Coast that the West Coast is getting an Evil Dead Rise house. And also they're getting The Last of Us, Stranger Things 4, The Exorcist Believer, Universal Monsters Unmasked, Chucky, Evil Dead Rise. And these are some of the new things. They're getting Monstrous, the Monsters of Latin America. It says includes the most terrifying ghosts and creatures from Latin American folklore. They're getting Holidays in Hell, which will take visitors on a petrifying trip through a series of psychotic seasonal celebrations.
Now, hasn't that been a scare zone before?
They've done, yeah. I think Holidays in Hell has been a scare zone. And then the Terror Tram is back this year, and it is called Terror Tram: The Exterminators. It says it puts guests on the world famous Universal Backlot Tour, and in the middle of an insect uprising led by the devious Larry Larva. Yeah,
there's a serious name.
Whose goal is to exterminate humans from the earth. You'll also and they'll have the set pieces from Nope, and Us, and all that stuff from Jordan Peele's movies.
Apparently the Tethered are going to be in the Jupiter's Claim set.
Oh, really?
That
cool.
sounds pretty. I can't imagine. It was that set was on the regular studio tour was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
During the daylight, I can't imagine it at night, and then you throw in the Tethered in there too. That's
especially if they add some lighting and some fog, and that'll be pretty cool. So, but yeah, we got the full lineup from Universal Studios Hollywood. A lot of the stuff that we're getting over here. But I think the big announcement was they are getting an Evil Dead Rise house, and there were a lot of people on social media, on Twitter and whatnot, that were pretty jealous that West Coast got an Evil Dead Rise house and we didn't.
I wonder if we'll get it next year. That'll be an interesting thing if they decide to just they'll do it over here next year.
I still have yet to see this movie, by the way. I want to. It's on one of the streaming
Max.
Is it on Max? Yeah.
No, it's cool that they've got some, because we obviously get a ton of unique, houses. It is different that they're getting an IP that we're not getting, but
yeah,
they've in the past they've gotten IPs before that we didn't get. So it's in the past both events were more unique.
Yeah, we'll let you have this one, Hollywood. Of course, like Barry said, we may get it next year or something like that. So who knows?
it may make more sense. Our event is so loaded this year. I mean, it's just like I said, they've really basically decided now. It's 5 IPs, 5 originals. So
yep,
I'm assuming it just probably didn't make the cut over here this year, and who knows? It might be over here next year. So.
And then some of the food that will be at Hollywood, of course, Surfer Boy Pizza will be there, and they'll have a drink there. There'll be quick service. Hollywood and Dine will transform into a Chucky themed barbecue featuring brisket, Nashville popcorn chicken sandwiches, pulled pork macaroni and cheese, funnel cakes, and themed drinks. And then they'll have a Peacock Halloween horror bar similar to what we're getting over here. It'll have themed cocktails from The Purge, Chucky, and photo opportunities with scare actors. And then in Universal Plaza, we'll have Dia de los Muertos, featuring an array of Latin folklore-themed cocktails, a taco stand, and a margarita bar.
Where's our margarita bar? We need a margarita bar.
Well, did they have a margarita?
I think they had a margarita drink. I can't remember right. It is interesting though, because we're almost 2 weeks away, and we have not. They posted some pictures today of food, but we still don't have, as usual, menus or nothing.
Well, Universal, they usually don't do a full. They don't announce every food booth. They usually do I think they usually do like a food press release.
Yeah.
highlighting some of the food. So maybe
Wasn't it the day before last year, I think?
the day before the event started.
Yeah.
It might have been. But yeah, no, they usually, at least here in Orlando, they don't announce every food booth, but they do highlight a bunch of it, usually in like its own.
I mean, we are two people who've actually seen and eaten some of the food that will be there this year.
Yeah. Speaking of, we can kind of move on to that. We're gonna wrap up here chatting about the media event that Universal invited us out to last week. We got to attend the Minion Land grand opening, which officially opened on the next day, August 11th, Friday. But Universal invited us out for the media event on Thursday to check out the entire Minion Land area, including the Villain Con attraction, Villain Con Minion Blast attraction. And I got there. You got there a little bit later in the afternoon. And for our first stop was the Bake My Day Bakery, that was the first time I had anything in there. I hadn't been in there yet, and I got the they gave us a couple coupons to try something.
Yeah, which thing did you get?
It was right up here. It was the birthday cake kind of birthday cake flavored macaroon thing, which is actually really good, really rich. Oh my god, I couldn't eat but like 2 or 3 bites.
I tried the Minion roll.
They said that the Minion roll is probably the best seller so far in this case of.
The banana flavor was really light. It was good. I don't know if I'd get it again, but I can understand why it's the most popular thing.
Yeah.
And so much of the merch they have in that store is I mean, if you like the fluffy unicorn,
this is your store.
This is your store. And like I said, one of the things we've been so impressed with the Minion Land stuff is the amount of unique merchandise that's come out so far, and hopefully a lot of it stays. But
there's the Swiss roll.
Yeah, the Minion Swiss roll. Like I said, I thought it was pretty good. It's not one of my. I don't know if I'd buy it. But I can see why it's a hugely popular item. Now you got to try the banana popcorn.
I got to go over to the Pop Banana stand and try I hadn't tried it yet. This was the first time I had tried a lot of the food in Minion Land, besides Minion Cafe, which I had already eaten at a couple times. But yeah, I got to try the banana popcorn, which I'm not big on anything banana flavored.
Neither am I.
So I was brave and I tried it. It wasn't too bad. It's more of like the banana popcorn is more of like I was gonna say caramel popcorn, but it's more like a kettle corn. That's the word I'm looking for. It has more of like a kettle corn kind of consistency to it. It was okay. I didn't hate it. Is this something that I would get personally? No, because like I said, I don't like anything banana flavored. But I tried it for science. And if I would imagine if you like banana, you would like the banana flavored popcorn, because it was a very the popcorn, the banana flavor wasn't too overwhelming. And it was a good combination of salty and sweet, and not something I would get, but if you like banana flavored stuff, you would probably love the banana flavored popcorn at Pop Banana. And then, of course, we headed over to Minion Cafe, which finally got its permanent sign, which looked fantastic. Yeah. They added the actual physical cafe sign with the blender and the toaster thing, whatever this is, which looks really cool. And they had a bunch of food set up for us to take pictures of, to try. They had a giant tub of Minion Tots that I just wanted to go home with. I just wanted to pick it up and go home and say, thank you, Universal. I'll be heading out now.
Now, what did you get? What did you try that you hadn't tried before?
Well, I went to my default, which was the grilled cheese first, and everything was like portion size. So I got that, and the salmon. I tried the salmon, which was pretty good. And then I think there was something else that I didn't get around to. But they had a few things for us to try. and then they had all the photo displays set up with all the different food. Obviously with the kids macaroni and cheese. I was kind of talking with the chefs as I was taking pictures, and they were kind of telling me what's been a big hit, what's been popular. Obviously with the kids, the mac and cheese with the Minion Tots has been really popular. They include these adorable little tiny bananas. I don't know where they get these bananas, but they're so stinking cute.
They've had.
Can you get those at like stores? And yeah, I've never seen them.
Stores,
yeah, I've never seen them before. And then for adults, the Uncle Drew's belly filling pork sandwich is apparently a big seller.
Good. It is
if you've had it, yeah. And then here are our beloved Minion Tots, the giant tub of Minion Tots that I just wanted to consume them all. So
the Minion Tots have been so popular. There's been some days where they've been low.
They've been low on.
And like you couldn't. I think it was one day we ate there, and you couldn't order them. You could only the kids' meals had them. You couldn't like add Minion Tots to your order.
Really?
Yeah, it was sort of surprising.
They're so good.
They're so good. They really have because it's almost like it's crispy on the outside, and it's almost like sort of a mashed potato taste on the inside, and also you can get a side of the I believe it's the chili sauce, and dip those. Very, very, very good.
Emily says, now I want Minion Tots.
I really hope that restaurant's open at Halloween Horror Nights.
I do too. I said on Twitter.
I think it'll do so much business.
Oh my god, it'll make bank. But I posted on Twitter a while back. I was like, I really hope Minion Cafe is open for HHN, because nothing will hit the spot more than for me to grab a little side of Minion Tots before doing some Stay and Scream or something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, then we also, this was when the media event got interesting, because for those of you that don't know, when I go to a media event, I take pictures, and I don't just blast stuff out on social media like every 2 seconds. I kind of try to space stuff apart, so people can kind of digest what we're posting. So by this time, when I posted these Minion Tots, we had already, after the Minion section, they took us over and they kind of did this whole Universal Orlando pass holder presentation where they showed off all the perks about being a pass holder, and they talked about pass holder appreciation days, which started 2 days ago on the 15th.
On the 15th, yeah, and they showed off some of the merchandise that I don't know if it started, if it's shown up yet. I haven't seen anybody post any of the new merchandise.
Yeah,
and we got to test some of the taste test some of the pass holder exclusive food.
So, anyways, we go over to this. It was over by the former Blue. It was in the former Blue Man Group theater area over there. So we do that. And we're hanging out, and they do a presentation talking about, pass holders and stuff, which was cool. Learn some, new things about being a pass holder and the pass holder appreciation days things. And so I had all that stuff to post because I was taking pictures and photos for that and videos. So then we go over to Soundstage 33, and we get a preview of the Halloween Horror Nights Taste of Terror event, which I knew was happening. But I was like, oh crap, I am so far behind on posting stuff. So we literally went from Minion Tots to clickers and Halloween Horror Nights stuff. So our Twitter feed was kind of all over the place that day.
So the clicker is a cake.
Allegedly. We never got confirmation that this is a cake, but
you cannot eat it.
It might be one of those things where like this part is cake up here and the rest is not. But anyways, here's a look at this amazing clicker possible cake that they had on display at the Last of Us booth. And it's not a great shot, but this is kind of what Soundstage 33 looks like for the Taste of Terror event that you can experience now through like the end of August. It's not going to run during Halloween Horror Nights. This is like a preview of the food you're going to be able to get at Halloween Horror Nights, plus like one or two things that you can only get at this event. So, here's a closer look at the Last of Us food booth, which was really cool. They have Firefly logos kind of plastered all over the building. This building's themed as a ration distribution center. Here's a look at the Yeti food booth at the Taste of Terror event. Kind of wilderness, outdoorsy vibe with all sorts of camping stuff. And here you can see the dessert that was offered at this booth. It was like a coconut puff or something like that, Barry, right? Wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Here's a look at the Surfer Boy pizza food booth. Obviously, Stranger Things themed. They had some cool seating kind of matched to the food booth out front. So there's that. And here's a look at this year. This was a hit on TikTok. This went pretty crazy on the ThrillGeek TikTok. I posted this video of the HHN 32, HHN 2023, whatever you want to call it, Freestyle Cup this year. So there's a look at that. Pretty cool this year. Pretty cool design.
That is included with your with the party, and also a Blinky cup, which other people have revealed. And all non-alcoholic beverages are included, and alcohol beverages included via host bar. We tried everything, literally everything.
Yeah, for those of you that are subscribed to the YouTube Thrill Geek, be sure to go on there. If you're not subscribed, I highly encourage that you do and watch Barry's video. I literally sat down my iPhone on a tabletop tripod, and Barry was running in between every single food booth, and we tried pretty much everything. We're sure everything.
Yeah, everything. We had everything, including every drink. And there were a couple items that were exclusive to the event. Everything.
These two right here.
These two right there, the pork and the
mutilated pork loin, and this
which, if you've ever been to like a Universal event that's catered, these are common things that are usually at those types of things, the salad and the pork loin.
Yeah.
They've just given a little bit of a Halloween horror update.
There we are with our ridiculous selves, with pretty much everything. But yeah, we tried. We're not going to sit here and talk about every individual food item on this stream, but I highly recommend. Yeah. I highly recommend you guys and go and watch the video that we posted. We try everything. Some of my favorites, I like the walking taco, which will be perfect for HHN. The burger was really good. The blood? Can't remember the name of it, but the burger in the picture, the black bun burger thing was really good. But yeah, make sure you guys go watch the video on our YouTube channel.
The poutine. Both the vegan and the regular were really good.
Yeah, those were over at the Yeti booth.
Yeah, it was all. I mean, there really was only maybe a couple of items that were sort of but yeah, the rest of it. There was nothing that was bad. There was nothing where we were like, ugh.
Yeah, that was gross. No, everything was at least okay. I mean, there were a few things where we tried it. We're like, yeah, that's a thing. I mean, we kind of moved on. And then there was some stuff that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, as cool as I will say is like, get the ravioli for the can. If they don't have the can, don't get the ravioli.
Apparently, there was some confusion because when the event actually started, and the people that had actually paid for the Taste of Terror thing, apparently you don't get which I have it right here. It is now my pencil holder. It's a Fedra food ration container. I washed it out, and
napkins in ours.
Yeah. But apparently you don't get it at the Taste of Terror event, but the cans will be available when you buy it during Halloween Horror Nights at the Last of Us food booth that are being set up in the park currently. So I think there was some confusion as to, because we got it at the media event, and then I guess people saw our post, and they went the people that paid for it, so there was some confusion. But apparently you do get the Fedra food ration can when Halloween Horror Night starts and the food booths are open. So hopefully that clears some of that up. But they have seating all around the soundstage area. You can kind of relax. I thought it was a really cool event, and I think you get like what 3 hours in there total.
Yeah. It's, check-in is at 6:30.
And it goes for like a solid
experience
3 hours.
runs 6:30 to 8:30.
So 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours, which I think is more than enough time.
Yeah, I think we got the whole 2 hours in there ourselves.
Yeah, no, we got a full 2 hours in there, and it's not. They really, I don't know how they may do the regulars. They don't push you out too fast. They just they started closing things up, and then they slowly start, getting you out.
Yeah,
the
like,
price now is $135.99. There is a annual pass holder discount.
There's only 15%, I think.
Yeah, 4 dates left. The 18th, the 19th, the 25th, and the 26th are left.
I think I did the math, and the 15% discount, pass holder discount, brings it down to like $120, which I kind of think that's worth it. I mean, I kind of put myself in the shoes. If I had paid $120 for this, considering we got it for free for the media event, would I have been disappointed, or kind of? I think it would have been worth the $120. You definitely get all the food you want. Alcohol is included, and there is, from what I remember, there's a non-alcoholic version, if I remember correctly. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I think for like $85, I want to say.
Yeah, I don't know if they still have that or not. Who knows?
I saw something about like a non-alcoholic version where alcohol isn't included.
The other thing that's not included is theme park admission. You need theme park admission to go to this.
You do need theme park admission. So if you buy the Taste of Terror thing and you don't have an annual pass or day admission, you're going to have to find some way to get admission, because your theme park admission is not included, but it is required to do this Taste of Terror thing. So
yeah, and if you've seen on social media, I think the event maybe has not done as well as they hoped it would. We've always felt like a lot of Horror Nights fans don't have a lot of money.
Yeah,
and so I think the lower prices it better, especially if you have an annual pass and you can get a discount. But we'll see if they keep bringing this back next year or not. I mean, because part of it's like we sort of have been spitballing, why are they doing this, and part is like they normally use that sound stage for corporate events throughout the Halloween Horror Nights, and so the sound stage is always decorated every year.
Yeah.
For stuff, and so maybe they thought we already do this place up every year, and they usually have some food and drinks. Usually it's part of the package that whatever company buys. And maybe they thought, hey, well, maybe we can try something and see how it does. And I think if they find the right price point, I think it might be something they could do every year, but they got to find the right price point.
Yeah, I thought because it was what
159 maybe, or
it was like 100. It was like 150, $160 to start off, which that's a big chunk of change for a couple hours with some food and stuff. But I think the lower price point plus the pass holder discount made it a little more what's the word I'm looking for? Doable, tempting.
Yes.
I think $120 for this experience, 2 hours, all the food you can eat, all the alcohol, and it was a cool atmosphere. They had some, Stranger Things music playing. It was a cool vibe, and if I had paid $120 for this, I would have been more than satisfied, I think, for that price point. But yeah, no, we'll wait and see. Obviously this was a test this year. We'll see if they bring it back next year, some fashion, some way. The only other way I could justify doing this is if you're somebody that doesn't really do Halloween Horror Nights, but you want to try all the food. You like, there's some of the food that you wanted to try. This would be a great way to to go about doing that, and you don't have to worry about getting, scared or anything like that. Cause there's a lot of people out there that Halloween Horror Nights just isn't their cup of tea,
Sin.
Yeah, exactly. She's the perfect, that's the perfect idea that I'm thinking of. Somebody that doesn't do like haunted houses or Halloween Horror Nights in general, but there's some food there that they want to try. So, but anyways, be sure to go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ThrillGeek. Watch the video of Barry and I pretty much trying everything. It's at least entertaining watching us eat food for 20 minutes. Be sure to go there and check that out. And after that, I went back to posting on our Twitter feed some of the pass holder food for pass holder appreciation days, and Bill and Con Minion Blast. I posted some more stuff about that, and then we even did an HHN update that day. So it was a very, very busy day for us that day. But
it was a long
kind of going back to it was a long day. Really quick, kind of going back to Villain Con Minion Blast. We really didn't talk about that a whole lot. Now that they have the phone syncing going, it has opened up a whole other world for that ride and has made it much more. The rewritability is through the roof of that ride. I recorded like a 3-minute video of one of the guys from I think he was from Creative, just talking about all the stuff you can unlock and all the stuff you can customize and all the stuff you can change with the Universal Orlando app on your phone. When you keep riding Villain Con Minion Blast is unbelievable. There's no end to like the customization and everything you can do with this app. It's really, really cool. But yeah, we have all those details up. The grand opening of Minion Land up on ThrillGeek.com. I posted a video clip of the queue. There were still a lot of people that didn't quite understand what Villain Con Minion Blast was. And the best way I could explain it is you're standing on a conveyor belt similar to what you see at the airport for your luggage, like the video shows right there. And it's slow moving, and you're shooting at giant screens with physical props around you, trying to get the highest score. It's a lot of fun. It's chaotic at times. There's so much going on.
There's so much going on, and with the app too, you can start learning there's certain things you should be shooting at.
Yep.
That will give you a lot of points if you shoot at said certain things.
Yeah, when I first wrote it, I think that's the thing that I was confused about was I didn't know what to shoot at. But now that I've ridden it 5, 6, 7 times, you start to learn. And if you watch the pre-show video, it kind of hints at some of the stuff you should be shooting at. As well as just kind of observing and what you should be shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the first time I wrote it, I got like 300,000, and then I think the last time I wrote it, I got like 1.6 million points, but we've seen people getting over 3 million.
Yeah.
It's very rewritable. I think a lot more so than the other interactive attractions out there. And didn't you say they talked about like that they can add different things for different times of the year and stuff?
Yeah, they're already in there. Like for Mardi Gras, there's going to be some stuff for Mardi Gras. Thanksgiving, I think they have some kind of like turkey thing or something. But yeah, there's all sorts of themed for different times of the year that you can
which is cool because we've talked about in the past with like Toy Story Mania and I even think Disney, some of the Imagineers like, oh yeah, we can change it for seasonal and blah 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 blah, and they never did it. So kudos to Universal for hopefully actually making seasonal adjustments for an attraction that everything's rendered on the fly. So why not? So
yeah, and I mean it's not really going to be anything you can. I don't think per se it's going to be something that's going to be going on in the ride, but the unlockables are going to be seasonably themed, like stuff you can unlock to customize your blaster rifle in the app. So if you go to Universal and you ride Villain Con Minion Blast, make sure you have the Universal Orlando app. It completely makes this ride so much more re-rideable. And look out for those of you watching the live stream right now, this picture that I got up, these little V6 things in the queue. If you scan those, I took this screenshot on my phone. If you see these throughout the queue, they're kind of hidden. They're not out in the open. If you walk up to your phone and you place it like you're scanning like an NFC type thing, you will get unlockables. Like this one that I scanned, it unlocked the Binky Nelson's pacifier unlockable. So be sure to look out for
And there's
those.
some other stuff scattered throughout the land too.
Yeah, apparently there's unlockables throughout the land. But yeah, no, the app, when they finally released the syncing your gun to the Universal Orlando app, it really opened up a whole nother world of fun with this ride, and it just the re-rideability is fantastic with this. So but yeah, anyways, I think that's it. I can get rid of this, and I think we can wrap it up and get on out of here. Where are we at? We're at an hour and 10 minutes, so we're not too bad. I thought we were longer than that for some reason. No. So I'm getting all tangled up here in my wires under my desk. So, but yeah, no, thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you guys as always. I think next week, I was planning on doing our Halloween Horror Nights hype stream next week. I even texted Emily and said we were going to do it next week. So, I think we're going to push that back to literally 2 days before it starts, that Wednesday. August 29th or whatever it is, 28th, 29th. So look for our HHN hype stream that week. Emily will be joining us for that one. And I'm probably going to get in one other person so we can have a lot of fun with that. And I was talking with Emily about that, and we'll get one more person in here, and we'll just have another HHN live stream where we can kind of nerd out and kind of talk about what we're most excited for and all that stuff. So
yeah, and more than likely next week we will talk to you about all things Hallowscream.
Yeah,
Orlando and Tampa, because they finally dropped everything that's coming there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And
I'm sure there's some other stuff that will happen between now and then.
Yeah, if we get a food announcement from Universal for Halloween Horror Nights, if it's anything different than what was at the Taste of Terror event, we'll be able to talk about that.
And then I imagine we'll be going to the parks within the next week or so to do one last Halloween Horror Nights construction update for YouTube. Yeah,
I was going to kind of talk with you, and maybe, I don't know if we could do it this weekend or something, but we'll figure that out.
I think they should be everything Scare Zone wise should be almost final now.
Yeah,
they're getting there. They've added a bunch of stuff even since the last time we've been. Especially Shipyard 32 has really come together since the last time we were there.
The Jungle of Doom's Scare Zone is looking unreal. So
it is wild how much. I mean, I'm trying to think if this is the most theming we've seen in that Scare Zone as far as just like piece. I mean, it's just so many.
It's really,
pieces.
Really.
Which I'm assuming it's going to be easy. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the flow through that Scare Zone this year, because now that they do have, they will have the Central Park amphitheater will be able to be used for people to walk through. So
that's right, because they're not doing Marathon of Mayhem.
Yeah, since there's no show this year, people will be able. I'm assuming will be able to walk through there. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do with the traffic flow through Central Park, because they've definitely, I feel like, tightened it up pretty good this year. It's gonna be pretty tight in there, and I imagine you'll be able to avoid it if you want to, because I imagine during certain parts of the night it's going to get pretty it
gets pretty bottlenecky in there and gets kind of tight in there in the Central Park Scare Zone every year. So
yeah,
but yeah, we're gonna get on out of here. So again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll do one more regular stream next week, kind of wrapping up everything other than Halloween Horror Nights stuff. Like we'll talk Howl-O-Scream, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and whatever else we need to talk about. And then the next week, we will do our Halloween Horror Nights 2023 hype live stream, literally a couple days before it kicks off. So look for all that stuff right here on our YouTube channel and all that stuff. So Barry, tell everybody where they can follow you and follow ThrillGeek on social media.
I'm at Culture and Thrills on Twitter, Twitter/X, whatever the heck you want to call it.
It's
I'm going to call it Twitter. And actually, I still have it as Twitter because I still have not updated the app. I'm going to do that until it stops working. But Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Culture and Thrills, and I've got a couple of new videos up on the TikTok right now. We are at ThrillGeek on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Blue Sky, and Threads. All of those at ThrillGeek. Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page. YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel where we do have the latest Halloween Horror Nights construction update and our basically 20-minute, I mean, for lack of a better term, it really was a mukbang. We just basically set the camera up and talked about all the food and ate all the food and had drank all the drinks at the Taste of Terror event. Check that out on YouTube. And, of course, ThrillGeek.com for the latest on theme park and pop culture news. And you can continue the discussion on our Discord channel.
So I think that's about it. I don't have anything else to add. Pretty much, I tell everybody, just search the word Thrill Geek. We're on all the social media. The only thing that is not Thrill Geek is Pinterest. We have a Pinterest, and that is Thrill_Geek.
And don't forget our Halloween Horror Nights guide. Where is that, Clint?
You can visit the regular guide at thrillgeek.com/HHN, and the other guide, our new HHN foodie guide. I separated them. I separated the food guide this year because it just became
it's too much.
It became a too long of a guide to have all the houses, all the ticket information, everything, and the food in one guide. So if you go to thrillgeek.com/HHN foodie, I believe it is, you can go there, and I am in the process right now of starting to add some of the food booths, not necessarily the menus because we don't have them yet. But just kind of pictures and where the food booths are going to be located. You can check that out by going to thrillgeek.com/HHN foodie and check that out because I'm going to be updating it a lot as soon as we get more food booths and we get to the park and we get more stuff. You guys can check that out. So let me get our goodbye screen up here. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks so much. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Right, Barry?
Bye. Yes.
Bye. We'll see you guys later.
See ya in the fog soon.